Hi, welcome to SAP BW 7.4 Immersion Program. My name is Shams and I'm the trainer who's going to give this class for you guys. I have about 10 years of experience in SAP Business Warehouse. I work as a consultant and I also do training for the uh, online training as well corporate training. I've taken a number of corporate training and in-class training. So that's my short description of who I am. And let's begin with what we are going to do in this course and what are the different aspects and what you get out of this course. Let's begin right now. Okay. So before I go into the details, I just want to give a disclaimer. This presentation has a personal views of the author, who is me, and it may differ from industry standard. And SAP is a registered trademark of SAP AG. SAP AG is not associated with any of the information on this document, even though that's related to SAP BW. This is a personal training given by a independent consultant. So the agenda for today's part one is to give a brief idea about what is ERP and what is SAP BW, why do we need to learn, and what do you get from this course. So the audience is clear, and at the end of this presentation, you will be clear why you are here, right? So it starts with ERP. So we will learn what is ERP, what is SAP R3, NetWeaver, what is BW, and about this course, and what you get it from this course. Okay. So what is an ERP? ERP, like I think most of you guys who was in the software industry or maybe working in some other industry might have heard this word called ERP, which is Enterprise Resource Planning. So Enterprise Resource Planning, in a sense, it's a system which integrates multiple business functions and processes of an organization or an entity. Okay, so for example, take for example any big company, right, which has a different division or different entity, like starting from shipping, invoicing, distribution, inventory, manufacturing, accounting, right? So these are all different entity in a company. All these need to be integrated so that ultimately the eventual, the final results would be how much a company gain in a particular quarter, like probably Q1 or Q2 or Q3. Again, what are the products has been sold or why it's sold? Is there a reason for not selling at the expected rate? So those are all inclusive of a multiple entity, right? So when these entities are separate, running parallelly, you will not be able to see the end result. So ERP comes into picture right now, and then what does it do is it integrates the multiple entity or multiple division in a company, and it replaces the countless departmental activities, and then it gives you a one point of view. Like it's a combination of several entity, right? So and that's actually called enterprise resource planning, right? So now I said, what is enterprise resource planning or ERP? You need to know who are the service providers or solution providers for this ERP. Okay, when it comes to ERP, the leading industry or leading software which is in the market is SAP. That's the number one software in ERP. SAP stands for Systems, Application, and Products in Data Processing, right? So we are going to learn about SAP. So, but it doesn't mean that there is no other ERP in the industry or in the market. So we also have several other ERP called Oracle application, Microsoft Business Solution, or it's called Microsoft Dynamics. Again, BAN. So these are all used, but it's all used in multiple places, like different part of the world. Like each and every country has their own preference, but SAP is used mostly all over all over every part of the world, I would say. So it got several installation and then it already been implemented successfully. Also, there is ongoing implementation even for a small business also as well right now. Usually, in the beginning, SAP implementation was only done for a huge high-scale industry only, but nowadays SAP redesigned the software so that you can install even when implement or installation in a small business as well. Okay, so the target is wide right now. Okay, so when it comes to ERP, we say we are going to learn about SAP, right? So we will target on what SAP has and why are we going to use this one, right? So in the beginning, when SAP implemented or introduced the software in the market, they had only something called SAP R3. So right now, this SAP R3 has been evolved into something called SAP ECC. The version is 6.0. Okay, we will learn more about SAP ECC, but I will have to tell you guys what is the beginning of this, SAP market itself, right? So when I say SAP R3, R is called real time, and 3 is a three-tier architecture. It is the core SAP product from which we extract data into business warehouse, and then from there the business intelligence create reports on top of it, right? And it's a client-server technology. Maybe you guys know what is the client-server technology. There is a front end. Front end will access the server. It gets the data from the back end and then displays you in the front, right? So that's called client-server technology, right? And even though SAP is a product and it has a wide variety of customer solution based on the industry specific, it is also highly customizable. For example, if somebody for an oil and gas industry implement SAP, every part of oil and gas industry is being captured in the SAP itself, right? But there will be a situation that few of the data coming from non-SAP sources might not have the same objects or the same fields in SAP R3. So at that time, we might have to customize it, and this is very highly customizable software. Okay, and it's a multilingual. It's a modular in design. It's integrated. It has got every module integrated into one product, right? When I said integrated or integration model, this is what I meant. Okay, so SAP R3 is a client-server technology, and it has an advanced programming language called ABAP. Okay, Advanced Programming Application. Okay, Advanced Business Application Programming is called ABAP, right? So ABAP is a version 4th generation language. And so for any customization, you will be using this language in SAP. So it's not like you cannot use any other outside software to customize it. SAP has their own programming language. Okay, Advanced Business Application Programming or ABAP. Okay, so that's the programming language for SAP. Again, this ECC. Moving forward, I'm going to use the word ECC so that we are getting used to that, because R3 is the older version, but you should know what is the beginning of SAP, right? So SAP R3 or ECC consists of several modules starting from financial accounting, controlling, asset management, project systems, sales and distribution, and this is whatever you see here is a few of the modules I have mentioned, but there are several modules have been introduced these days, and for each and every module there are consultants available to implement and customize. Okay, so that is the simpler version of a SAP R3 integration module. Okay, now we have seen what is SAP ERP or ECC. We have to come back to the place where we are going to learn, right? So that is like, what is SAP NetWeaver BW 7.4? So the latest version for BW is 7.4, which is on HANA. You can have 7.4 install 7.4 on any other database also. It is highly recommended to have a HANA database on 7.4 for the quite a few reasons, like the performance is faster. Again, the data loading is faster. The report is generated much more faster than what it's going to run on a different database called Oracle or SQL or Sybase, right? So 7.4 is the latest version. Okay. So before we jump into what is BW, I have to tell you guys why information technology is so vital in today's business. Okay. So for example, when you look at this picture, every division or every entity is connected directly to the information technology, right? Like human resources, customer relationship, product lifecycle management, finance, ERP, manufacturing, supply relations. So these are all separate entity, but all this entity to have a common place, we need to have information technology to be integrated in today's business, because that's very vital and most important part for any company's growth is information technology today. If you do not have a division integrated or implemented with the information technology, then it most of the time there would be a failure or maybe loss of a business in a company. That's the latest verdict, right? Okay, so this is how IT is connected to every department in today's business. Okay, so when we have data coming in from different department, right? So types of application, it could be enterprise application or a point of sale or desktop application and so forth and so on, right? So there are several applications is bringing in data. So when say application, even though it's a different it's application, so it's all collection of data, right? So collection of data. So there is tons of data, terabytes of data available in the market, in the industry now. So each and every company they need to make some decision based on the data, right? So that's where the BI comes into picture. BI solution comes into picture, and business warehouse and the business intelligence comes into picture. And our aim is to master the SAP BW, which is the top in the market right now. Okay. So what do we do with BI, or what can be achieved using the business intelligence solution with the information what we have? So we got information, right? It's a central point, like it's the core of the company, and based on the information in a company, there will be multiple tier of people will be there, starting from accounts manager, sales department, like finance manager, and then CEO, and then business approval authority. Like several people are the business, and they want to know, or they want to visualize the data, right? So not everybody, every individual in the company need to know the static report. The static report is just only used by maybe a salesperson, or slice and dice is used by a financial person, right? But when it comes to dashboard, most of the time it's used by the business people who are the top level, well, in the sense like probably a CEO or CFO who wanted to see how the trend of a company is moving forward, right? So that's where the dashboard is coming into picture. And for alert and exception, it could be a sales person, like sales, who are leading the sales team. They want to know, okay, this is this product has been sold, in a high level for the last quarter, but this is not going down. And who did what sales, like probably a particular division, right? Might have done a very good top level sales for that another quarter, right? So those are the things are done by the alert and exceptions, right? So there are multiple reports, but as a BW consultant, what is our role is to extract data from ECC and then create a data modeling in BW. Then you will be creating reports on top of it. Okay, that's what is the ultimate goal of the SAP BW consultant. Okay, and then so now we saw what are the different types of report, but we should know also. I was telling in the previous slide as well, who are the users, right? So the intelligence, the top level people are the 10% of the people will be using the intelligence, like visualization, right? And then slice and dice is just about 20%, and the rest of the people in the company will be using the static reports, okay, based on the data. So it's a top, it's a down to from data when the path is considered like data as information, as a knowledge, and then intelligence. Intelligence are mostly considered, like view or analyzed by uh, top level business people. Okay, this is the typical mix of a BI user, right? So before going into BW, you should also know when was the SAP BW introduced by SAP. SAP did not have their a business warehouse tool when they introduced ERP or R3. Okay, they were using a different data warehousing tools, but eventually they thought they found out they need to have a in-house data warehousing tool. So that's when they started BW 1.2, and then slowly just the ladder is going up, and right now the latest version is 7.4. Okay, 7.4, which is an integrated module of a business warehouse plus business objects with like web intelligence, business object design studio, and several other modules. Okay, so we will be learning how to bring in the data into the business warehouse itself. Okay, the next part is to learn a little bit about the architecture and positioning of the software or BW in SAP. Right. So in the beginning, I was talking about bringing in data from SAP itself. Also, there is another concept or another way of bringing data into BW from a non-SAP data source also. In the sense, most of the time, the data in BW is coming to the SAP ECC, and then we have extractors in the BW, and then business content. We will learn everything down the line, and finally it goes to the SAP BI client, right? We can also, or there is always a possibility that we get data from non-SAP data source also, right? So non-SAP in the sense, it could be from flat file or it could be from a different database. We can also load data using a data integrator, which is right now is called the business object data services. Okay, and then eventually upstream into the reporting tools BI client. Okay, it goes to the BW, and then from there it's a data modeling. This data modeling, the three-dimensional data modeling, we'll learn much more about that. Okay, yeah, so let's see. So the previous slide showed the transparent layer, like what we see, right? So, but we should also know about how data has been transferred or extracted into from ECC into BW, right? So the data coming from multiple sources. It could be from non-SAP, SAP, as well from a different SAP BW system also. We create step one will be the info package. We create an info package, and then the next one is to create a data source. Then you create transformation, and then the data target. Finally, it goes to the query designer, and eventually to the different reporting tools. Okay, so we will learn about each and every step in the class. Okay, so that you know how to transfer or extract data from multiple data sources. Okay. So to understand that SAP BW, how it's using, I want to give a business scenario, right? So just have a small example of how SAP or where we can use SAP, right? So in a company, always business managers wanted to take, required to take some decision based on the data what they have, right? So that can be achieved by using a business intelligence solution, and one of the top in the market is SAP, right? So let's take a simple sales analytics example, arbitrary company called ABCB Corp, right? Okay. So this company has a headquarters in New York, USA, and it has different sales office within US as well. It has plants in the multiple part of the world, right? So when it comes to the hierarchical structure, you will see the top level of the hierarchy is ABCD corporate, and it has it got offices, regional offices in North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, right? Then again, this should have a sales office. Whatever you manufacture, that has to go to a sales place, right? So sales office is there, and ultimately the customer, right? So that's the top-down hierarchical structure of a company. What we're going to learn right now. That's a simple business scenario, right? So consider this company implemented SAP R3 or ECC for the business operation in the Americas region only, probably the year of 2000. Okay, so when they implemented, probably they had about 30 GB of data. Just an example, right? It could be more also. So after they implemented, and a few months, that they were very much happy with the system, and they wanted to go global implementation. So in a couple of years, they are implementing another, probably 5 to 6 instances of R3 in their other sales service as well, right? So once they implement multiple instances, we know very well that the data grows, right? So because every sales office has a huge amount of data, and the data is keep growing as well on day-to-day basis, correct? So after in the beginning they only implemented SAP ECC, and then slowly they started introducing several modules like ASCM and CRM, right? So as and when the module gets added up, the data also gets increased, right? So at this time, they have an SAP ECC with the multiple modules implemented, and the corporate managers in the company need to take some business decisions. Like, just a simple example: sales manager want to see who are my top 10 customers, right? And for the last 2 years, and then inventory manager, like which item or which product was sold high in the Thanksgiving, and finance manager ultimately is much worried about his finance, right? How much money he earned this quarter than the previous quarter. Is it high or low, or it's the same? So those are the business decision, like which somebody need to take in the company, right? So to do this, you need to have a business intelligence solution, right? So for that, there is a process involved in business warehouse. So first and foremost is to extract data. So in the implemented solution, SAP HCM or HR or FI, you need to extract data from ECC into BW. When you are extracting data, there is always a process of cleansing the data, okay? And then you apply business logic, right? So apply business logic in a sense, you need to know, okay, I need to know the information only for first quarter, okay? Then you filter that one based on the business logic, right? And you consolidate all the different modules into one, and then you create report and you deliver the report to the business people, right? So that's how the things are happening in the business warehouse. So there are three different parts of a business warehouse. So one is the modeling, and then extraction and reporting. So all these three different parts we will be learning, and then these three different parts or the entity is tightly integrated with the performance. So even though you can do a very good modeling, extraction, reporting, if the data bringing in or the data reported in a report, it takes a long time to view, then there is no use of the business warehouse solution, right? So the performance is much more important in the in this model, right? So that's why the HANA came into picture. Like in previously also, the data the report was really faster, but SAP decided to implement HANA so that user can have a multiple what do you call it? So multiple reports run in the same at the same time with a lesser amount of time. Okay, so that's the performance coming into picture. Okay, okay. So we just saw, right now what is ERP, what is BW, and how do we that's a preface of the architecture of BW, and then the how do you extract data. We will go deep into that in the future classes, but I also want to know, I want you guys to know about this course, right? So to learn SAP BW, what are the basic knowledge or basic prerequisite, right? For anybody who is working in SAP, anybody who is working in the software industry are eligible to learn SAP BW. It's not a rocket science. It's just anybody can learn, right? So, but if somebody coming from a non-software, out of the IT industry, right, then they might need to know a little bit about what is a database, what's the table, what is primary key, what is the foreign key. These are all, I would not say this is 100% knowledge will help you in BW, but just as a very minimal knowledge of basic knowledge that I should have, right? So that is the prerequisite, I would say. If not, anybody can learn business warehouse. That is not an issue at all. Okay. And then the objective of so if somebody is getting trained, they will come with an objective or a goal, right? So what I would say is this training program in BW will give you to acquire knowledge of at least 1 to 2 years of experience, right? So this will not come from the just by attending the training. So you will be taking the training again. You will have to put your time at least 2 to 3 hours per day if you really want to break into SAP market. So right now the market is so difficult. It's like really competitive. It is not very easy to get into the SAP market just by learning the training, just by attending the training. So you should have to put more time whenever possible to start working in the application so that you will know what is going on, and we will give you the entire knowledge of what is SAP BW and how to succeed. Also, everybody who is attending this training should have a goal of taking the associate consultant certification as well. That will help you in break into the market much more faster than the other without a certification as well. So we will supply you the certification material as well. Okay, and what skills you require to achieve this goal, to, for example, to be an SAP BW consultant or to apply for a SAP BW job, right? So you should know the navigation, like you should know the BW interface, right? So each and every navigation of the BW interface it will take at least 3 months for you to just jump into the business warehouse BW system, and then just keep playing around. You will come to know that, right? So, but that is necessary, but that's not the only thing which you should know. Okay, we should also know about the concept, right? Concept in the sense you should know what is available and what is the functionality, what are the features for the business warehouse. For example, if somebody gives you go to an assignment and somebody asks you to create a report for the timesheet released, maybe this what I'm talking is could be like on a higher level, but I'm just giving you to extract data for timesheet released from a CATSTP data. So you should know where it is coming from, what it is. So those are the things which we should have knowledge about. So that's again another skills required to achieve this goal. Okay, and then the last one is the application. You need to know how to solve the business problems. That's the most important thing. which a client will expect from a consultant who is coming to the project. Okay, so these are the three different things you should know. So it's like a navigations, concept, and application. Okay, so how this course can help you? This is a, I would say 40 plus. I've just given arbitrary number 40 hours, but it could go more also because we cannot complete a BW in 40 hours. So it's an online course, and you will be getting the study material. You will get a reference material every course, and then you will have an assignment. At the end of the training, you will have a mock project and a system to practice. Okay, so the class would be like this. Like in every class will be like this. You will have a demonstration in the PowerPoint to tell you about what you're going to learn on the day, and you will be learning, or you will be shown what we are going to do for that class. Like for example, how do you create an info object, or how do you uh, load data into BW, right? So those things, and then you will have a reference materials which will have each and every step-by-step information so that you can replicate what you learned in the class. Then there will be assignment also, right? And so basically this is how the training is going to work in the in my class. Okay, so I, as a trainer, I will give you what I know, but I also have some expectation from the participant as well. So you should. So when you hear, when you learn the, when you review the first class, and you see or you learn whatever has been told. So what I would expect is you do not jump into the second class without completing the first one. Okay, so because you will have an intent, you will have an intention like, okay, let me finish everything, yeah, which is fine as well, right? But I strongly recommend that you start with a big first class, and then you do what are the assignments and reference material given to you. Then once you're done with that, you come to you just log into the, or you do the second and move forward, right? So that's how you will learn. Yes, it is not that easy to learn any software without proper practice. Okay, so that's what you should come with the commitment and passion to learn, so that you will be anything you like and you do, you will be able to succeed in that one. Okay, so then you have to, you will be, it's basically practice. Without practice, being a new software, it will be difficult for you to get hold of it. Okay, so I would say that practice is much more important. Also, finally, just want to give us common misconceptions we have in, at least with respect to SAP itself. Everybody outside surrounding you, will be giving a wrong ideas and misconceptions, saying that here you just go into SAP, you will get 1 month of training, and then you will get $100 billing or $200 billing. Yeah, no, that's not correct. Okay, so people get $100 or $150 when they have 10 years of experience or 5 years of experience. Okay, but when you when you get into training and trying to break into market, you should be prepared to work for whatever the rate you get, right? So that you get experience, like you get into the market, you just experience. After that, you can demand whatever you want. But all these rates are arbitrary rates, and it's not like you will be getting this when you're done with the training at all. Okay, it will take at least 1 to 2 years to go to this rate, but it is a very good prospect in SAP. So I would strongly recommend concentrate and do this training, and then you will be able to succeed. Okay, we are here to help you on every aspect, beginning from the questions, what queries you have, whatever this, and this is what is my way of training, and this is just an introduction only. So I will be giving you the part 2 of the class. Basically, my class runs around 2 hours, but right now, being this is it's an online class, which is you're going to read by yourself whenever you have time. I'm just breaking into smaller division. Okay, so this one is just a part one of section A, I would say. Okay, class one of section A. You will still have few more classes, few more demo based in this first class. Okay, so those classes uh, will be coming soon. Okay, so should there be any questions or concern, you can always reach out to us, and we are happy to help you.